coming up tonight on VCU InSight.
I'm Darnell Myrick. Coach Wade staying here at VCU. I'll tell you what that means for the basketball program.
I'm Breon Burns. Find out why current employees of Martin's are seeking alternative work.
I'm Danielle Gashard. Find out what Richmond Police is doing to keep neighborhoods safe. All this and more, VCU InSight starts right now.
From the Richard T. Robertson School of Media and Culture at Virginia Commonwealth University, named Best Student Newscast in the Mid-Atlantic, this is VCU InSight.
Good evening and welcome to VCU InSight. I'm Nancy Gabaldon.
And I'm Erica Robinson. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news tonight, VCU basketball head coach Will Wade will stay a Ram for at least a few more seasons. InSight's Darnell Myrick is live at the basketball training facility with more. Good evening, Darnell. What does this mean for the future of the team?
Good evening, Erica. Now that Will Wade has made his home here in RVA for the next few years, he'll be looking to cement VCU's name as one of the top programs in the country. A smashing success. That's how Will Wade summed up his first season as VCU's head coach. He led VCU to their 6th consecutive NCAA tournament appearance. Wade was rumored for multiple coaching positions around the country, but decided to stay in RVA, agreeing to a new 8-year contract with VCU's athletic director, Ed McLaughlin.
I wasn't leaving. It's flattering when people reach out and have interest, but I was going to be the head coach at VCU. I wanted to be the head coach at VCU. Ed knew that. My wife knows that. My agent knew that, and it was just a point of us sitting down and making it happen.
Now, one of the biggest things that were emphasized in Coach Wade's new contract were program enhancements. Those enhancements are expected to keep the Rams competitive on and off the court with the nation's top programs. Wade said that the contract comes with benefits for his staff and players. However, the main goal of the contract is to ensure that VCU is able to keep up with schools in the Power 5 conferences, such as the ACC.
You got to be able to treat the athletes as well as you can treat them, because it's not stopping with the Power 5s. They're going to keep pushing the envelope on what can be done, so we want to do that. All those sort of things. Just making sure we're up to par or ahead in the arms race.
VCU junior Ali Cox is looking forward to seeing Wade stay at VCU for years to come.
Next year we might probably be even better than this year, seeing that we have a lot of guys coming back with experience, a lot of guys got their feet wet, a lot of guys got their confidence up, and going into the future, the way Coach Wade's recruiting, it looks like we're going to be real good.
Now, while VCU and Wade have agreed to a new contract, the finances of the deal have yet to be disclosed. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, Darnell. Debris burning continues to be the leading cause of forest fires in Virginia. Henrico crews have been battling the wildfire season for years. They have issued a ban on burning during the hours of 4 p.m. and midnight. The danger of fire increases more in the early spring than any other month. Since the forests and grasses are new in growth, fires are also not permitted if they are in or within 300 feet of woodland, brushland, or fields containing dry grass or other flammable material. The restriction includes the majority of Henrico County except for the most rural portions. Developers in Richmond are looking to further expand Carytown, but plans are causing a bit of a stir there. InSight's Grace Fernandez is in the studio now. What does all this mean for the new development, Grace?
Good evening, Erica. It means once this development is finished, surrounding neighborhoods may struggle to find parking, and neighbors are concerned.
Members of the Uptown Association met to address their concerns about future parking. Plans to build a large apartment complex and retail space in the old GRTC bus barn have fan resident Kelly Davis scared.
Right now, we're already feeling a really tight squeeze on the parking.
Davis says she loves living in the neighborhood but fears the new development will leave residents without parking.
This empty lot behind me is what used to be the GRTC bus depot. Soon it will be filled with 280 luxury apartment buildings, making an already hard parking situation for some even worse.
Davis says the developers have only allocated over 300 parking spaces for just the 280 units.
It's going to make it even tighter and really make it impossible for residents to park.
The neighborhoods are petitioning for permit parking, but city regulations are delaying this process, making it nearly impossible to obtain permits. Dr. Catherine Howell is an assistant professor in urban and regional studies and planning at VCU. She says it's the city's job to maximize community benefits and calculate how this will affect residents.
They have to kind of keep pushing for those neighborhood parking permits.
Howell says while Richmond's biking and public transit have increased dramatically, the city has a lot of catching up to do.
Richmond's going to have to think a lot differently and a lot more strategically about their parking situation.
Plans are still developing, and Councilman Parker Agelasto is working closely with the city and members of the association to come up with a solution. Back to you, Erica.
Thank you, Grace. The city of Richmond is set to add more traffic roundabouts to the fan. Richmond is trying to modernize traffic in the city due to the population growth, especially with the overwhelming amount of students coming to VCU's campus each year. According to richmondgov.com, fatal crashes decreased by 90%, fuel consumption is reduced by 30%, and consistent traffic flow is increased by 50% just by adding structures like roundabouts. Locations like Idlewood Avenue, Grayland Avenue, South Stafford Avenue, and the RMA Expressway are currently under construction.
Richmond grocery store wars are heating up as 2 Wegmans stores are preparing to open in Richmond by summer. All Martin locations in Richmond have announced that they will sell or close stores. InSight's Breon Burns reports.
Martin's first got its start by buying U-Crops for $140 million back in 2010. The Martin's chain has 22 stores in the Richmond area, but it has been previously announced that 3 stores will close this summer. The fate of the 19 others will either be closed or sold. Martin's employee Adriana Hearing says she isn't so worried about herself. It is the long-term workers she is concerned about.
So my biggest concern is more the full-timers who have been here, especially the older ones who have been here since the U-Crops, Martin's, situation happened.
There have been rumors that Kroger or Publix may purchase these Martins. However, nothing has been confirmed yet. According to Richmond.com, the sale is needed to satisfy federal regulators. Dutch retail conglomerate Royal Ahold N.V., which operates Giant and Stop & Shop, will then combine with their Belgian counterpart that operates Food Lion and Hannaford stores. Longtime loyal U-Crops and Martin shoppers are sad to hear this news.
I've lived in Richmond for about 5 years, and I've always used Martin's, so I would be disappointed if I didn't have that option in the area.
In the meantime, Martin's workers are waiting it out. If they are bought, they may hold on to their job, but if they are closing, they will look for other work.
I've loved working here, and I've been here for 4 years, and for the most part, everyone's really nice. We're all really, especially at this store in Carytown specifically, we're all kind of like a little, in the most non-cliche way, we're all kind of like a little family.
A family who waits to see if they will be separated. For VCU InSight, I'm Breon Burns.
Decisions on these stores will be made later this year. With the summertime concert season quickly approaching here in Richmond, it becomes more important to have a designated driver. A free nonprofit service provides just that. InSight's Grace Fernandez sits down with the founder and treasurer. I'm here with the founder of Provide a Ride, Jim Bland, and treasurer Lynn Black. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So this nonprofit organization started in 2012.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to do that?
Well, our friend Wes got it started, and his idea was to try to do something to prevent drunk driving in the area. And so we got together in a place right next to Hardywood, and they were our first, place we could get started and start talking to people there about prevention.
So Hardywood gave you the opportunity to be at their events. They do a lot of food truck events and
Absolutely.
and have.
I think our first event was their first anniversary, their first birthday. So that's when we got started. Actually, it says yes, we're going to have a lot of people here, be a lot of drinking, and so ours is just to be low key, but to be there, talk about designated driving, and we have breathalyzers so you can sort of check your alcohol levels, and if all else fails, we'll get you a cab.
So you've been at Hardywood, and you do a lot of events around Richmond, like Friday Night Cheers. So
these are your sponsors, or how does it work?
Well, most of the time they may sponsor us, help us out a little bit with tents and things like that. But a lot of the organizations now ask us to be out at their events. So festivals. All kinds have been great for us because we can get in front of thousands of people and be there where there's drinking involved.
So we'll start with Friday Cheers.
Yeah, this year Friday Cheers starting in May, so we'll be out there, and then River Rocks and on to the Folk Festival.
And Venture Richmond has been a wonderful supporter for us and really given us the venue to reach out to other events, from Taste of the Vine to the Chili Cook-Off, Irish Festival, and all those good things as well. So we try to be where people are drinking.
And I actually have some photos that I pulled from your Facebook from all of the events that you've been at. So through these events, you set up a tent and you have donations, right? Through donations, you're able to work with Napoleon Taxi Service.
Right.
Right now, we're
giving
using
us an account there. So.
And we pay up to $40 of the taxi ride. And we, at the Taste of the Vine, we had 3 ladies that we were in Midlothian, lived in Powhatan, and were very happy to have that taxi, as they had tasted a little too much of the vine, and we're happy to pay the over and above cap of the $40 that we pay for of the taxi ride.
So let me ask you this, with Uber and all the different taxi services that Richmond has to offer, do you see that as a little bit of a competition, or how has that worked?
Well, no, we really welcome it.
We love it.
And it's great to see a lot of 20-somethings, kind of early drinkers who have already made arrangements. They either say, well, we have a designated driver, or or we're taking Uber.
We're taking Uber, yeah.
But no, we see that it's a good sign that people are paying attention and doing something about it proactively.
In January, the Richmond Times-Dispatch posted an article that said that DUIs were down 4%. To the preliminary figures, DUIs were down 4%, 2015 from 2014. And it's a little too early to say, but we feel as though that Uber may have a very positive impact on that figure.
And I'm sure you guys do too.
So, and us too, yeah.
Yes.
With all the the breweries and all going on in Richmond, there's a demand, and you get a little backup with the taxis and Uber. So it's good to have them involved as well.
And I think as a volunteer, one of the things that really made me connect is because I could actually see a direct result of my time volunteering when we could actually see someone get into the taxi and know that they were getting home.
That's wonderful.
And feedback's been great from everybody that supports us. But we have some T-shirts and some RVA magnets and stickers that we sell, and that's a fundraising venue for us.
And also just kind of pulls people over. I've been wanting to get that.
Yeah.
And then we can talk to them about what we do as well.
That's wonderful. I've been speaking with Jim Bland and Lynn Black from Provide a Ride. Thank you both for joining me here today.
Sure.
You're welcome.
Thanks
for having us.
Thousands of people came out for the annual U-Crops Monument Avenue 10K. This race has been around for 16 years and has been named by USA Today as one of the 10 great races in the United States, bringing people from all over the country to participate. People dressed in costumes surrounded the streets cheering on family and friends.
VCU hosted its annual Relay for Life Festival last weekend. Dozens of people braved the cold and windy weather to join the fight against cancer. Volunteers took part in the Survivor Walk to honor those that have beaten cancer. Cancer survivors in attendance gave their stories and inspired others to keep fighting. All donations went to the American Cancer Society to help further their research about cancer.
It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Virginia lawmakers and college campuses are taking new measures to raise awareness and combat the ongoing issue.
Lawmakers, police officials, and college campuses are making strides to help raise awareness in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month this April. Delegate Jimmy Massey of Henrico was the first to lead a bill enacted in 2015, focusing on new initiatives to help prevent sexual assault on college campuses.
I carried the bill in 2015. It said within 48 hours of the campus police or anybody, campus authorities, opening a sexual assault investigation on campus, they had to notify the local authorities, local Commonwealth's attorney.
According to the National Sexual Assault Resource Center, 1 out of 5 women and 1 out of 16 men get sexually assaulted while in college.
Fatima Smith is an advocate at the Wellness Center and has been working with multiple programs throughout the month to help students stay informed about sexual assault. Smith talks about VCU's upcoming event called Take Back the Night, an annual event that takes place across the country to help those who have been affected.
In an effort to, again, give a voice to survivors, because oftentimes survivors don't have the opportunity and space to share their stories in a comfortable way.
To attend VCU's event, Take Back the Night, and any other upcoming events, you can visit the Wellness Center's website.
VCU basketball fans are used to seeing Ali Cox as a star on the court, but what you may not know is that he leads kind of a double life. Not only is he a star on the court, he's a rising star at the Virginia General Assembly. InSight's Breon Burns sits down with him.
I'm here with VCU basketball player Ali Cox. Mo, thanks for coming to us today.
No problem.
So we actually just heard about your dual roles. How hard was it for you to work at the General Assembly and play basketball at the same time?
It really wasn't too hard because being in grad school now and in the spring semester, all 3 of my classes are online. So I have a lot of time to do my work on the late night and at times like that. So going there, being able to do my mornings there, then going to practice, and then I would just do study hall all afternoon.
So what exactly did you do at the General Assembly?
The things varied. Some days we would sit in meetings with people like trying to get bills passed and stuff like that. We sent emails out to other people who were interested in different kinds of bills. We would take flowers around to some ladies on Valentine's Day. We did that one day. Or we would just run errands like if they need something sent to another office or something like that, we would do different things like that.
From speaking with you earlier, I understand that your original prospective graduation date was May of 2016, but you were actually able to accomplish it graduating college in 3.5 years. How did you accomplish such an achievement?
My first year really got me a head start on school. I was a partial qualifier in the NCAA's eyes, so I couldn't play basketball, so I had to redshirt that year. So my days consisted of working out at 10 and then being in study hall while everybody else is in practice. The team would leave, I would be here doing homework and stuff like that. So my first year I got a 4.0 here, and that was something Coach Smart really wanted me to do. So I did real well in school that year, and then after that I just pretty much liked school. I didn't like school before I got here, so me liking school just led me to being able to do more.
And right now you're pursuing your master's. When you complete that, what do you plan on doing? Do you plan on doing basketball or getting into government?
I plan on doing basketball. I plan on playing sports as long as possible, and that's something I want to do when I leave VCU. I want to make money playing basketball, and on top of that, I love the game, so I'll play it until I'm done with it.
We've actually have some video here of you playing basketball as well as you at graduation. You're known for your household name, Mo Says No. How hard is it for you to separate yourself from that name when doing things like General Assembly?
I mean, it's real hard because pretty much I'm probably the guy that stands out the most on the team, being one of the taller players, and I have dreads. So everywhere I go, people are going to recognize me for what I do on the basketball court. So that's why I just try to do things off the court to try to separate myself and show that I'm more than just a basketball player. So I did my internship in McGuire Woods, General Assembly, and other stuff to set my future up after basketball, just in case basketball doesn't work out. But I think the Mo Says No will stay with me forever as long as I'm in Richmond.
Right. And we also have you in a story in this show about Will Wade. How happy are you that he's staying with VCU next year?
I'm very excited Coach Wade's staying. He's one of the reasons I came to VCU. He recruited me a little bit in high school. He wasn't my main recruiter, but he was one of the coaches here. My whole freshman year, I didn't really like him because he was hard. He was a hard coach, but as a coach, that's it. He was just doing his job, and as a freshman in college, I wasn't adjusted to that. But he's a real big part of my development and how I've gotten better over this past year. So I'm just really excited he's going to be here next year for my senior year.
And with all this being said, what do you plan on taking into the 2016-2017 basketball season next year?
One of my main goals is going to be getting Defensive Player of the Year. I felt like I should have got it this year, but I just came up short, and I also want to get first team all-conference.
I've been speaking with Ali Cox. Thanks again for being here.
Yeah, no problem, anytime.
Richmond is named Tree City, USA for the 25th consecutive year. The title is given by the Arbor Day Foundation, a nonprofit whose mission is to make the world healthier and greener. The foundation says the program provides direction, assistance, and national recognition for a community. It also provides the framework for a healthy, sustainable urban forestry program. This title comes after Mayor Dwight C. Jones' initiative to plant nearly 2,000 new trees annually over the past 5 years.
If you're sneezing and wheezing, you're not alone. Allergy season is in full swing, and some are feeling it more this year than years past. InSight's Aaron Dean is in the newsroom with more on what's happening here in Richmond. Good evening, Aaron.
Good evening, Nancy. Many Richmonders are suffering from sneezing fits, itchy eyes, and scratchy throats. This is all due to an increase in pollen, according to pollen.com.
Allergy season. I love the smell of pollen.
Allergy season is in full bloom here in Richmond, according to health professionals. And for an asthmatic like Chelsea Williams, it can be a challenge.
Well, this allergy season has been a little rough. It's like a lot of pollen and the weather has been really tricky.
According to pollen.com, there have been high levels of pollen 16 times in Richmond from the month of March going into April.
So I've had a couple of breathing and different problems.
Williams says she has her inhaler with her for severe attacks, but uses allergy medicine to help keep things under control. According to allergists within Richmond, most people have started feeling allergy symptoms around late February. Richmond has topped many lists over the past few years for its record levels of pollen. Just last year, it was named one of the asthma capitals by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. Allergist Dr. Barry Feinstein says that over-the-counter medicines help most people. Still, he sees about 40 to 50 people per week during the allergy season.
These medications will help a good percentage of allergic patients. We usually see the patients who are not receiving sufficient relief of symptoms with these over-the-counter medications.
Now that we are in the month of April, Feinstein also says that the allergy season here in Richmond will get gradually worse. Williams says she hopes to not use any extreme precautions like her inhaler.
I heard that this spring allergy season is going to get worse, so let's hope I don't have to use it.
Feinstein says prepare for a long one. This allergy season started in February and won't end until about June. Back to you, Nancy.
Thank you, Aaron.
A big honor for our team here at VCU InSight. Our colleagues from last fall won Best Overall Student Newscast from the Society of Professional Journalists. The award covers the region of Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, D.C., and Delaware. Along with that award, the VCU Robertson School took home 14 other honors. Other first-place honorees were Travis Ellison for feature photography, Gareth Bentel for editorial cartooning, and Audrey DeBon for sports photography. All first-place winners go on to the national competition in New Orleans this fall.
And finally tonight, Richmond police are taking on new initiatives to show their support and stop crime in the city.
One big part of it is being seen more in the community, in a good way. InSight's Danielle Gashard has more on the story.
Walking around and talking with residents is what Richmond police did last week after a series of walks throughout the city. The Randolph community has recently experienced a rash of automobile thefts. Chief Alfred Durham and his team says they want to build awareness and address any safety concerns with the residents.
It's concerning to the residents who live there, and they don't deserve that. So we're out here just to reassure them that we're here, we have a presence, but just to hear their concern so we know how to strategize to address the problem.
The community walks aren't the only initiatives that police have recently started to stop crime.
During the community walk, police were handing out information about their new anonymous tip line called Gun 250, which allows people to notify them when someone's in illegal possession of a firearm simply by text.
And I think that's the fear factor in a lot of our struggling communities, being able to communicate those issues, those crimes, those bad people to the community without being fear of some type of form of retaliation.
City Councilman of the 5th Voter District and a Randolph resident, Parker Agelesto, says the community policing and now Gun 250 are helping to make the community safer.
But Randolph historically has been a redevelopment community, one where 25 years ago it was nothing. It was bulldozed and homes were just coming back. There was a lot of crime in the area at that time.
Now officials are hoping some boots on the ground will help make a difference. For VCU InSight, I'm Danielle Gashard.
This event was the latest in a series of walks conducted on a monthly basis by Richmond police in neighborhoods throughout the city.
What a great program. It's nice to see the police getting involved in the community.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's it for this edition of VCU InSight.
Make sure to check out our website at insight.vcu.edu.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook under VCU InSight. Contact us with any stories you'd like to see on our show.
And if you missed our show or would like to watch it again, you can find us on YouTube at VCU InSight. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Erica Robinson.
And I'm Nancy Gabaldon. We'll see you next time.